Germany-based Clean Industry Solutions Holding have released a report for the second quarter 2023. In my virtual studio, I have CEO Christian Zahler. Hello and welcome, Christian.
Hello, Matthias. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. You really steam up your business, and you're reporting the best second quarter in the history of the company, with an operating income amounting to 8.6 million Swedish kronor, which is an increase of 110% compared to the second quarter last year. Tell us, what is driving this growth?
Yes, we are finally seeing the long-deserved success. We're seeing the growth. But I think it's not just driven by a few specific projects. It's really a long-term effect, as the majority of our business is longer-term orders, which are completed over several months or even more than a year. And one of the drivers behind these projects is that more and more companies have harvested the low-hanging fruits, like energy efficiency measures, photovoltaic installations on flat rooftops, and so on. And they're now tackling the more difficult part of the energy supply, of the energy demand, which is very often the thermal energy. And this is where we're experts at. And they're finding us due to our nicely optimized website, and they're contacting us, and we have more and more leads.
With the growth in income, the gross margin increased by 3.5 million Swedish kronor to 7.8 million Swedish kronor. By reaching this level, the group has achieved the company's next important goals milestone. Could you please elaborate a bit on this?
Yes, this basically means that we're able to grow our operating income while maintaining losses at the previous year's level. So we're not growing our losses. In the first half of 2023, EBIT was not only maintained at the prior year level, but it was even slightly reduced by 0.7%, and this is an important step for us, and I'm happy that we achieved it.
Yeah. Industrial Solar was awarded a grant for project Susheat, bringing in 196,000 euros. This comes from Horizon Europe. What could you tell us about this?
Yes, I think it's a very interesting project, which is also helping us really with our business activity. And this project Susheat, this acronym actually means smart integration of waste and renewable energy for sustainable heat upgrade in the industry. And this brings together very interesting technology, brings together high temperature heat pumps, phase change materials, energy storage systems, and so on. So this is really at the core of our interest, and with the subsidies of the European Union, we can follow those development goals with very renowned partners all over Europe. And the Horizon Europe program is the EU KEYS funding program for research and innovation, and it's tackling climate change, and it's helping us to achieve those sustainable development goals, and is hopefully also boosting the competitiveness and growth of the European Union.
Thank you. Industrial Solar is also to install, let me see if I can pronounce this correctly, photovoltaic system for Fössner. What is this?
Yeah, not much to say. We're very happy to have the next larger PV order signed, company Fössner, close to the Swiss border. And we're going to install around 400 kilowatt peak on their rooftop. And I'm happy to have the next great customer with us, and I'm happy to install the system for them, or we are installing for them.
There was also an update on your client in Greece, Kebe. What kind of update was this?
Yeah, Kebe is optimizing the funding. I mean, there are different possibilities of finance such a project, and funding is a very important part. And initially was the idea to use a national funding program, and now the customer is looking into other funding programs. This is understandable. Such projects take time. And I heard last from the customer that he wants to implement the project, but he's optimizing the funding, so it will take some more time.
Yes, and some events after the period, Industrial Solar also to build Fresnel collector for Unilever. You did part of this in Q4 2022, but this will also be the first break into Latin America for you in Q1 24. What can you tell us about this?
Yes, what you mentioned, end of 2022 was the order for the engineering study. And now we received the order for the installation together with our partner Turbo Control. And I'm very happy that we're going to build the first Fresnel collector, the first solar steam generation system in Mexico, the first system for Unilever. And we will do our best to make this a success. And I hope that this is the beginning of an era with more projects in Mexico and with more renowned companies like Unilever in this part of the world.
Yes, and we will get back to that shortly because it's very interesting. But Industrial Solar also wanted to design thermal system for Hilton Hotel in Frankfurt. Could you elaborate a bit on this?
Yeah, we signed a contract about 70,000 euros with the owner of the building of the Hilton in Frankfurt City Center. We're going to design and engineer a system to produce hot water for the hotel. And we will also supervise the installation. So we are not the EPC. And this is also the beginning of a very interesting business activity. I'm sure that this is the first project, not the last project. So there are more hotels out there in the luxury sector, but also lower, that have to reduce their carbon footprint. They have committed and they have realized the first systems to reduce their carbon footprint. And now it's time to tackle the more difficult thermal part.
Thank you. You also have a new board member, Rebecca Schwantes. What will she contribute with?
Yes, I'm very happy that Rebecca is taking over the position of managing director of Solar Spring after Daniel Pfeifler has left. She's extremely experienced. She's an expert on membrane distillation, and I'm looking forward to the next era at Solar Spring, working together with her and bringing the company forward. Solar Spring has has such a great technology with such great applications. Just thinking of the production of ultra pure water for hydrogen production, this is a business for itself, and it's only one application that they have. So I really do believe that they have a very strong technology and a very strong know-how. And with Rebecca, they have a very strong managing director now.
Okay, so now let's go back to Unilever in Mexico. This is the first breakthrough in Latin America. What plans and possibilities will this open up for you?
Yes, Mexico is kind of an extended workbench for the US. So there are a lot of multinationals have their production facilities in the US. You'll be surprised how many automotive companies, also from Germany, have their factories there. And we are in contact with quite some of those multinationals. And Unilever, the first installation now at Unilever, will hopefully be a door opener, the proof of our system, the proof of our solution. We are able to produce steam at high pressures, high temperatures. And this will hopefully result in more and more projects. And this is also extending into the US itself. So I don't think it will remain only in Mexico. So I expect a expansion towards north, but also towards south. So we have now for our next workshop, or for our first workshop that we invited our partners for, we have participants not only from Mexico, but also from Brazil. And we have people coming from other countries like in the MENA region, like Tunisia, Libya, Saudi Arabia, coming to Freiburg and learning skills how to assemble Fresnel collectors, this solar process heat systems, and maintain them and do quality control. And this is, for me, a very strong indicator that those partners are expecting projects to come. So they wouldn't travel to learn skills which they don't need the next time.
So this workshop, is this part of a new strategy that you are applying?
Yes, we are fostering the relationship with our partners, with our international partners. This is not only the workshop that we do now, but we also have made like a special website for our partners where we provide them material and educational material, but also financial background information and so on, sales material and so on. And this is very important as this is ramping up our installation capacities very quickly. By educating our partners, we can realize many more projects than that we could alone. I mean, alone with our team, we cannot address the whole world. That's impossible. But with our partners, we can.
Yes, absolutely. And that was all my question for you today. Thank you so much for answering them. It will be very interesting to follow your news feed. Good luck going forward.
Thank you, Matthias.